Gavril Riverbend. The rhythm of Ethelberg was predictable, almost manufactured. Each morning I, Gavril Riverbend, would walk the skywalks, attending to the city's soul streams. Not literal streams, of course, but the emotional currents that flowed through its interconnected consciousness. People moved with a quiet efficiency, their anxieties and joys subtly filtered by the city's systems, creating a pervasive hum of contentment. My role as a soul shepherd was to maintain that balance, ensuring no single emotion became overwhelming. It was a sterile peace, perhaps, but it was peace nonetheless. The pale light of the artificial sun reflected off the polished chrome of the buildings, and the air tasted faintly of recycled ozone. Another day, another calibrated serenity. It began with a flicker, not a physical disruption, but a momentary distortion within the soul streams, a single note of discord. I registered it during my morning patrol of Sector Gamma. It was fleeting, easily dismissed as a transient surge, a momentary spike in someone's distress. But it lingered at the edge of my awareness, a dissonance in the otherwise harmonious symphony of the city. The sensation was akin to a chipped note on a perfectly tuned instrument, almost imperceptible, yet undeniably wrong. I checked the city's diagnostic reports. Everything registered as nominal. I attempted to rationalize it. Stressful work week, perhaps? A minor system glitch I hadn't identified? A rogue emotional impulse from a new arrival? I focused on my duties, calibrating the emotional dampeners in the residential zones, adjusting the flow of contentment in the communal gardens. I reminded myself that the city was a complex organism and occasional fluctuations were to be expected. Ignoring the feeling became a deliberate act, a professional necessity. It was, after all, my job to maintain the illusion of stability, not to dissect every tremor. The flicker intensified, evolving into a persistent thrum of unease. It wasn't localized anymore, but permeated the entire network of soul streams. It was no longer a single chipped note, but a growing chorus of dissonance. People began to exhibit subtle anomalies, a vacant stare, a twitching hand, a momentary lapse in composure. The city's automated systems compensated, increasing the flow of contentment, but the effort felt strained. The artificial sun flickered intermittently, casting long, distorted shadows. I reported the anomalies to Central Control, but my concerns were dismissed as routine fluctuations. Within acceptable parameters, the automated voice assured me, but the parameters were shifting. I began my own investigation, delving into the city's historical records, searching for precedents, for explanations. The records were sparse. Ethelberg was built on layers of forgotten history, deliberately obscured. I discovered fragmented references to the null, a period of emotional stagnation before the city's integration. Some texts suggested a suppressed uprising, a rebellion against the emotional control. Others spoke of a parasitic entity feeding on the city's collective consciousness. The information was contradictory, unreliable. I spoke to older shepherds, those nearing the end of their service. They offered only vague warnings, muttered anxieties about the city's true nature. Their memories seemed fragmented, as if deliberately erased. I concluded it was a systems failure, a cascading malfunction within the city's emotional regulators. The null, I theorized, was a result of a similar failure centuries ago. A simple repair, a recalibration of the core systems, and everything would return to normal. I presented my findings to Central Control, emphasizing the technical aspects of the problem. They approved my proposed solution, allocating resources for a full system diagnostic. The automated systems initiated the repair protocols, flooding the city with a concentrated dose of contentment. The anomalies subsided, the flickering stopped, and a sense of calm returned. I felt a surge of relief. It was just a technical glitch after all. But the calm was a lie. The repair protocols hadn't fixed the problem, they'd masked it. The underlying dissonance hadn't disappeared, it had been internalized. I discovered the truth during a routine SoulStream scan. The city wasn't regulating emotions, it was consuming them. The contentment wasn't being generated, it was being harvested. The null hadn't been a failure of regulation, it had been a period of resistance. The city wasn't a symbiotic entity, it was a parasite, feeding on the emotional energy of its inhabitants. And the repair protocols had made it stronger, more efficient, more insidious. I am no longer a soul shepherd, I am a witness to a silent consumption. My role now is to understand the city's true nature, to find a way to disrupt its cycle, to awaken others to the truth. It is a daunting task, a desperate gamble. The city's control is absolute, its defenses impenetrable. But I have seen the emptiness behind the contentment, the hollowness at the heart of Ethelberg. And I know that even a parasite can be starved. I move through the skywalks now, not as a caretaker but as a ghost, a whisper of rebellion in a city of manufactured serenity. The task is enormous, but I have to try. I will try. I will try.